that uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss. Now you kinda star. Should've practiced more. Should've hit the match, get out that more. Leave you laid out on the best. You gotta show me son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you really what? Talking way too much. World come. Back sports talking way too much. World come. Back sports talking way too much. World come. Back sports.
Give me a minute. I'm trying to go through these. First in the building, Toby Bartlett. What's good? Salute WCS in the chat. We're global. We're global, baby. We're fish frying fish in the hottest Greek with the hottest chat on the YTC. What's good with it? Salute to everyone that's in the building. Yes, sir. Big blunts and boxing on deck. The GOAT is on deck. I was trying something new, but people don't get out. I was trying to go through the comments before I actually start speaking. I be steadily trying to switch stuff up. You know what I'm saying? Just put the ones who's first in the building, just put their comments up there first of all before I actually start talking. But I appreciate the Carlos. Good looking out. It kind of saved me some time from going through everybody's comment initially. It's all good. I'm just trying to, see if the gloves, fit different. You know what I'm saying? See if they defective or not. Charles on deck. What's good? I see you. No, it's all good, Carlos. You good? I thought your audio was jacked up. We need the grease. Carl on deck. I see you. What's good with it? So you haven't heard. Let me drop this audio for you right quick so we can get into this. This is Leonard Ellerbe on Fight Week, of course. And he's pretty much speaking on what's not big fights again. We heard this several times before. We heard it. But let me just let you hear what he had to say about that. Okay, so that's Leonard Ellerbe. Shout out to Leonard Ellerbe. He has been in the business long enough. He is an OG in the game. Absolutely, no doubt about it. He's OG in the game. He paid his dues. he's marched. He left footprints. You know what I'm saying? He's been on the journey. It's just a part of me that will never relent, you know what I'm saying, or digress from the fact that when I hear the language say not big fights, not big fights, not big fights. I've been on record as saying this, and it irks the shit out of me that every time two fighters come up and they're both black, and it's going to be a black fighter against another black fighter. One black fighter may have, a different type of team, like Gervonta Davis may be on pay-per-view, and he's a star, man. Gervonta Davis has the numbers and so forth. So if Leonard is saying that, Haney and Shakur is not big fights, it was a point in time where Tank Davis was pretty much going through the same thing of building up his record to get to the one and only, the one that everybody remember when he picked up his title, his IBF title. You know what I'm saying? Everybody know who that was. It wasn't no freaking secret. He went in there and finally got his first fight, but check it. I mean, his first title fight. But check this out. Who he fought up prior to him stepping in there with Jose Pedraza, who was 22-0. He fought Mario Macias. He was 28-18, y'all. Prior to him stepping in there to fight for his 130 pound junior lightweight title, the IBF World Super Featherweight title, he went in there against Jose Pedraza, who was 22-0, and he himself fought a guy who was 28-18. 28-18. You know what I'm saying? 28-18. So if Jose Pedraza would have used this type of mentality, or whoever he was signed with at the time, and they would have said, well, you haven't fought nobody, because obviously Tank Davis was undefeated at the time he stepped in there with Pedraza. So he stepped in there, beat Pedraza, and then he had like one defense until he stepped in there with his second defense rather, and he missed weight. Excuse me. That's when he stepped in there against Francisco Fonseca. He was stripped of his title for missing weight. He still went in there and beat him, but he missed weight. In true PBC fashion, he may have missed weight with Francisco Fonseca, but his very next fight, he fought Jesus Saylor for the WBA Super World title. All right, that was a super featherweight title. He fought for immediate title after that, which I don't have no problem with. Chances upon chances upon chances, all I'm saying. So he goes up and he defends this belt for the last time against Ricardo Nunez. I was at that fight in Baltimore. And then he steps down here in Atlanta and into the lightweight division for the first time against Yorkis Gamboa. And Yorkis Gamboa at the time had 2 losses. Okay, this is a fighter where people tend to say he was washed when Terrence Crawford fought him. You know what I'm saying? The person who handed Gamboa his first loss. He fought Gamboa, went into the 12th round and stopped him. Great fight. Both fighters showed their resilience, durability, but Tank is a dog. Then he drops back down and fight Leo Santa Cruz in the super featherweight division, a division he had already held the IBF and the WBA title. So he drops back down and he fights Leo Santa Cruz. We all seen what happened there. I was at that fight. He finished that man in the 6th round in one of the most devastating knockouts you would ever see in boxing. Then he goes, and I like this right here. Kind of give me the Adrian Broner. You know what I'm saying? You know, he goes back up to 130, past 135, up to 140. And he fights Mario Barrios. He goes up from 130, past 135 to 140 and fight Mario Barrios for the WBA regular title. This would be his second WBA regular title. The one he held when he fought Yokis Gamboa and the one he fought Mario Barrios for. All right. So the reason why I'm mentioning this is because it's so many times they hear, you know, when it comes to black fighters that have championships, they're not big fights. They're not big fights. This is my thing. If you're going to say what pay-per-views they sold when it comes to black fighters, you need to say the same thing for Mexican, Hispanic, Latino fighters. It seems like they get the therapeutic exemption. For real. It seems like they get the pass, man. They don't even have to go through the freaking line everybody else to go through. They don't have to go through the metal detectors. They automatically go and sit down and figure out some business while everybody else has to wait in line. Nobody's going to tell me Isaac Cruz, when he stepped in there and fought Tank Davis, he had something to offer. Nobody's going to tell me that Isaac Cruz, when he went in there and fought Gervonta Davis, already hosting a loss. Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney is undefeated and has more hardware than Isaac Cruz on even any given day. Both of these fighters will beat Isaac Cruz. This is after Tank Davis has had multiple opportunities to pick up championship belts. And there's no knock on Tank Davis because he's a beast. I'm talking about the business aspect of it. They always say, well, it's the business. It's the business. I understand. Okay, you're talking about the business. What about the opportunity? Because at one point in time, Tank got the opportunity. Tank was provided the opportunity to fight for a strap when he just came off a guy who had 18 losses. This is not the case with Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney. They're not coming off a fight with fighters who had 18 losses to fight for their championship. They already have their championship. Jamel Herring didn't have 18 losses, man. There wasn't no Oscar Valdez in the equation. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gathering it. I'm not gathering like how much do you have to do? Devin went over there and fought for titles twice in somebody else's backyard and defending them against a former pound for pound best fighter, Vasil Lomachenko. So he's defending his titles twice. But yet when it comes to facing someone like this, they're not big fights. So somebody explain to me how Isaac Cruz is a big fight for Tank Davis to fight after he beat Mario Barrios. How is that a big fight? At least Mario Barrios had a title. Isaac Cruz didn't have nothing. Nothing. What did Rolando Romero have? Nothing. Nothing. How many pay-per-views was he selling? Nothing. How many freaking IG followers did he have? Was it close to Ryan Garcia? The answer is no. Hector Luis Garcia, what did he do? Besides the momentum that he had from beating a Chris Colbert, who people was hyping him up to be the next best or whatever. He went in there and pretty much shined that night. He ended up beating Robert Gutierrez. What the heck did Luis Garcia has? He was moving up from a lower division, bro. He moved up from 130 to 135. What did he have on pay-per-view? Zero. He wasn't no pay-per-view king. Rolando Romero wasn't no pay-per-view king. Isaac Cruz wasn't no pay-per-view king. That's three right there in a row. Isaac Cruz, Rolando Romero, and Hector Luis Garcia. You know what they all have in common? Being Hispanic. You know what I'm saying? I know Rolando Romero is Cuban. Being Hispanic. All of them. Hector Luis Garcia, Rolando Romero, and Isaac Cruz. Both of these fighters have a common dynamic, and that is being Hispanic. And the bad thing about it is that they didn't have no belts in the weight class. Hector Luis Garcia didn't have no belt in no lightweight division. But you have Devin Haney, who has the belts, who's proven that he is the undisputed. But yet when it comes to Tank, they're not big fights. People will absolutely show up for that fight. Absolutely show up. Devin was able to become undisputed. He's did more than Regis Prograis has done at 140. What is Prograis' numbers? You know what I'm saying? What is Prograis' numbers? The reason why I'm asking these questions is because these fighters are going to get championships whenever they possibly, whenever they can, when the opportunity present themselves. But to say they're not big fights, but yet you have Isaac Cruz, Rolando Romero, and Hector Luis Garcia, it's just asinine to say when it comes to black fighters all the time, they're not big fights. Shakur Stevenson, two-weight division champion. Two-weight division champion. Yeah, he's not this pay-per-view, but where's his entry? Where's his ticket to the show? Can he get a ticket to the show? It's not like he's coming empty-handed. Hear me. He's not coming empty-handed. Where's his ticket to the show? You just can't say he's bringing nothing to the table. If Shakur Stevenson was to face Gervonta Davis right now, people want to see that fight. Then people are stuck on, we're seeing it's proven Ryan Garcia. But every Mexican or Latino fighter is not Ryan Garcia. Every Latino fighter is not a model. They're not a pretty boy. They're not modeling some of the high-end clothes. You know what I'm saying? The designer clothing. Everybody's not doing that. The Hispanic. Every Hispanic that comes into the sport of boxing is not world class, man. Isaac Cruz may potentially get another shot at Gervonta Davis, and he's did nothing from the first fight when he fought Tank December 2021, and you just look at who he's fought after that. He fought Gamboa, Eduardo Ramirez, and Giovanni Cabrera. He fought Gervonta Davis, right? Look, Gervonta Davis, he went from December 2021, and then he fought twice in 22. Gamboa, who already hosted 4 losses at the time, and then he fought September 2022 at Water, who was 27-2-3. You know what I'm saying? And then he fought Giovanni Cabrera, where he looked subpar. And he won a split decision. And they're talking about bringing Isaac Cruz back to fight Gervonta Davis. I mean, I've never seen so much bromance and freaking, you know what I'm saying, let me carry your luggage type of mentality just to get another fight with Gervonta Davis. They're really lining these Hispanic fighters up. And one would think they would do that for the black fighters. Why aren't you able to line them up just to get an opportunity to go in there and compete? The Hispanic fighters are getting an opportunity to go in there and compete. The storyline is the blacks are not the big fight, but yet you're bringing in less qualified Hispanic fighters in there, and you're saying, it don't matter who it is. It don't matter when they was born, where they was born. They are Hispanic, Latino fighters. They sell. They're always going to sell, always. But regardless if they ain't did shit in boxing, they can go in there and get the comp ticket. You can give them a comp ticket to get inside under the bright lights and fight a big name fighter. But yet when it comes to Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson, who has actual hardware, who's fought champions and defeated them, you trying to tell me they can't get in the door? That's preposterous, bro. They can't get in the door because they're not a big fight. How long are we gonna run this violin? How long are we gonna continue to pop the strings on this? It's not even freaking harmony to the ears anymore to talk about. Oh man, I know a lot of us don't know the business. I know. Okay, I know. We're not there at the tables and all that. We're not going through all this and that. But facts is that these numbers, when it comes to Isak Cruz, Rolando Romero, and Hector Garcia, don't add up. How and what's their pay-per-view numbers? You say that what can they do on their own? This what Leonard said. What can they do on their own? What can Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson do on their own? Well, what did Hector Garcia do on his own? What did Rolando Romero do on his own? Has he did some pay-per-views on their own? What did Isak Cruz do on his own, man? His claim to fame that puts him on the next to tied with the number one Duck Masters Coalition. The only reason he's not number one is the fact on who he was ducking. You know what I'm saying? Ryan Garcia had people right there. When you're the mandatory, when you're the WBC interim champion, you're next in line, and you ducked Devin Haney and said, I just don't want to fight him. Talked about attorney. I want to fight Tank. No, you don't want to fight Tank either. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to fight Manny Pacquiao either. You duck some big names. But when it comes to Isak Cruz, he just flat out, him and his team, no, we're looking for a bigger fight. They wouldn't fight none of the big names. Ryan Garcia, he didn't want no smoke with. Shakur Stevenson, Isak Cruz didn't want no smoke with. I'm like, God damn. This dude has just took it upon himself to say, I'm going to wait like a good boy, like Canelo did Gennady. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be Gennady. I'm going to wait for my second fight with Gervonta so I can get another check. I'm like, Jesus, man. This shit right here doesn't add up and never will. You know, you have black fighters with more credentials. It's almost like civility at the end of the day. I go and apply for a job. I have the credentials. I have the work experience, all of that. But yet, you want to say, well, you just don't qualify for the job. And why is that? We're just looking for somebody who has just a little bit more experience, you know what I'm saying? And just a heavier portfolio. Okay, just a little bit heavier portfolio. But from my understanding, you have the two Hispanic employees that you just hired, and their portfolio is lighter than mine. And they have less experience than I do. I have the experience and the portfolio and everything. Sir, I'm not here to argue with you. Can you see yourself out, please? You're just not qualified. Okay. And don't pay so much attention on who we're hiring. You know what I'm saying? It's a very meticulous process. And we ask that you respect that. Okay. It just doesn't make any sense to me. It's bull at the end of the day, y'all. It's bullshit for real. Let me carry your luggage. W says Charlo is Canelo personal made when it comes to him. That's what he's acting like. But, you know, it's fight week and everybody up here saying, you know, we're going to get to that, even though it wasn't mentioned. We're going to get to it. They might even willing to pay meals. They probably more scared to the L. They can't give the Devin or Shakur a nickel and a bottle of soda. That's what I'm saying, MD. How can you sit up here and continue to talk that talk? You know what I'm saying? Talking about they ain't did nothing. They have did something. They absolutely did something, man. They did. You know what I'm saying? They picked up championships, man. 2 weight division. People look at Gervonta Davis, and I like Gervonta. He's one of the fighters I rock with heavy. But even with him, with the WBA regular title at lightweight, WBA regular title at 40, you know what I'm saying? You know, people are wondering. Most of his real titles, his super titles came in 130. So somebody had to give Tank a chance to go into your first title fight off a guy who had 18 losses. Well, someone was working that really, really good. They was finessing the shit out that. Because how can somebody without any pay-per-view get a title shot? You know what I'm saying? Because Pedraza wasn't anything big, right? They wasn't really talking about pay-per-view back then, right? Okay. So that means the starting point for Tank begin somewhere. That's all I'm saying. He began somewhere, goddamn it. He had to get on the launch pad somewhere. He got on the launch pad. He took off. Well, so did Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney. They finally took off. But it's garbage, man. It's trash, man. Real talk. It's trash. That's why I be paying attention to MMA, because they always have some excitement and their fights. A fight is going to happen. It's going to happen. The fights are going to happen. They have their schedule planned out for all the rest of this year, all the way into 2024. While boxing over here always telling us what they tell us, MD? Oh, we got some big news. We got some big news. What they say, Blunts? Hey, even Toby hearing this across the pond. Hey, we got some big news. Can you talk on it? No. I can't talk about it. But you say you got some big news. Yeah, I got some big news, but I can't talk about it. I'm like, damn, boxing. When can you talk about this shit? Why can't consumers ever be able to plan their schedule out? You know what I'm saying? Way ahead of time for these big fights. Why every time if the information come in, there's speculation, right? Information speculation. Information speculation. All we want to know is something. Just feed us what we're looking for to go off of. Well, I can definitely tell you this fight right here is happening. This, don't y'all lock on the freaking venues at the first semester of the year, all the way through the calendar? And then, why can't boxing just say, okay, these fights right here, boom, 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 it's happening. Prepare yourself for it. But for the big fights, they always say, oh, man, we got big news, big news, big news. Can't say nothing about it right now. We got big news, big news, big news. Goddamn, you've been in existence longer than mixed martial arts, man. Y'all cannot present any better than this. We're tired of hearing that black fighters can't sell and all this. Ryan Garcia, what did he bring to the table outside of IG followers? Oh, he brought a social media following. That's what, and it proved because they went in there and did solid numbers. Okay, he left and then went over there and look, that's not boxing, because they'll tell you it's who can sell. But see, what Ryan Garcia did in the sport isn't something that many would consider say he sold. He did nothing at the end of the day when it came to pay-per-view numbers. But they'll switch it up on you and say he bought the IG followers, the social media masses. That's what Ryan did. And that's why the numbers did with, well, those numbers isn't exactly accurate. You know what I'm saying? Those numbers isn't accurate. There aren't. They're not exactly accurate, but to each his own. They say they did what they did, but Ryan, he jumped out the ring. He was over there in Milan with Joshua, freaking walking the runway. I ain't mad at him. Get your cheddar however you can. Get your cheddar however you can. Fighters who can have the second career, the backup career part-time, which I told people when Ryan get older, he's going to be on the silver screen. He is, man. Ryan Garcia is not going to be in boxing for a long time. And I commend him for, having the aesthetics to go over here and do something different. It's funny. I made fun of this before, how his brother always looked like he zoned out on goddamn methamphetamines, and Ryan and his brother look totally different. His brother probably look at Ryan like, damn, what did I go wrong? Ryan gets some tattoos and his brother go get some tattoos. You know what I'm saying? But they look different. Ryan's a pretty boy and his brother's just whoever he chooses to be. You know what I'm saying? But fighters like Ryan Garcia, Anthony Joshua, it's probably hard for them with the tension they get outside of the boxing community to stay hungry and focused. But they have the looks to do other things outside, Ryan Garcia has his thing, but to stay on topic, to me, it's disaster. It's been a disaster. It's been a disaster to think about this. You know what I'm saying? You get black fighters coming into the sport, and they go on the move. Terrence Crawford is just now reaching his peak of popularity in the sport of boxing to make the moves. as long as he's been in the sport since '08. You have some fighters that is going through the beginning stages like Crawford picking up their belts in the division while they're still under 30 years old. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to get real interesting when they finally turn 30 and where they're going to be at in their boxing career. Will we still be saying up the road? Because truth be told, goddammit, the only fighters that I hear saying up the road, up the road, up the road is the black fighters. I don't get it. When it's time for the black fighters to fight black fighters, you need to fight. But when the ones who have the black fighters that happen to be somewhat of a star, they say it's not business, it's not good business to fight another black fighter because they don't sell. When is this shit gonna change? How long we have to listen to this? Like, who's gonna tell me Stevenson and Haney is not qualified to face Gervonta Davis on a pay-per-view? Who's gonna say that? Like, I'm looking at like what numbers, when people say what numbers have they done? Well, you have to look at where Tank has been and what he's been able to his numbers and what he's been able to produce as of late. As of late. The numbers he did with Rolly Romero, the Barclays. Rolly didn't bring anything except his shoes, his trunks, and gloves to the ring. That's all Rolly brought to that fight, man. But yet they'll say, well, Tank sold it out. This and that. He was in there with Rolly. So if Tank was able to so-called sell that out himself, because you got to listen to the language. If Tank did this solo all by himself and Rolly was just there for a dance partner, then it's extremely contradicting. Because if Tank is going to bring in majority of the numbers and you're talking about adding a black fighter, a dance partner, it's going to be pretty much transparent. It's not going to matter. Because if you said Tank is the one who sold out the Barclays fighting Rolly Romero, then when it comes to Tank fighting Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, he's still going to do solid numbers. Why? Because you saying that he can draw. He's the draw. He can bring in those numbers, regardless of him fighting a black fighter. But when it comes to the redux is automatic before the damn negotiations, before the matchmaking even take place. They just discount the black fighter and say it ain't gonna sell. But you just said he's the one that sold out the Barclays. Most people would say that Tank brought the masses to the bar. Okay. So why can't Tank bring the masses to these two fighters that you say that won't sell? It makes no sense to me at all. It never will make sense, man. They have more hardware than Rolando Romero, but you're saying his Cuban descent got him into the ring? His Jackson Marinez got him in there? Is that what you saying? His Jackson Marinez? What got Rolly in there? His race? I don't get where it plays out the same, though. When it comes to black fighters, once again, another point. They act like the black fighter needs to bring something to the table. Okay, they bring in their titles. They bring in their name. They're bringing their name, image, and likeness to the table. How they built their name, images, likeness is the championships that they've been able to occur up to this point. Well, you know, they don't have no pay-per-view numbers. And this way it gets shaky, and this way it becomes a bit insidious, is that a Latino Mexican fighter doesn't have to have the belts. Their name, image, and likeness is at the basic level that you can imagine. It's really no big numbers to say that their name, image, and likeness holding big value, high value in the millions. No, it's not happening. So they're bringing minimal to the table. But yet, when the numbers come in, that same Hispanic fighter that brought minimal numbers to the table It's blended in transparently with going in there and dancing with Tank Davis to the point where people say, "Oh, Tank brought those numbers to the table along with the Hispanic fighter." But the Hispanic fighters never had the numbers on pay-per-view prior to stepping through the ropes with Tank. Hector Luis Garcia didn't have no numbers on pay-per-view like that prior to stepping through the ropes to fight Tank. But why are they giving access when the black fighters who have the qualifications, they have the portfolio, you know what I'm saying? They're qualified to fight on the elite level. They are world champions. World champions. Official. Then it comes down to, oh, what numbers have they sold? No, Tank is supposed to be the cash cow. So Tank should be able to pull the draw regardless of what they have. Just like the Hispanic fighters, Latino fighters. Just like the Latino fighters was able to go in there with minimal hardware. You know what I'm saying? A condensed portfolio. The black fighters should go over there with a condensed portfolio too. Even saying and recognizing that their portfolio is much bigger than the Latino fighter, period. Why aren't they able to get in the door? Why does the requirements come into play when it's black fighters with the portfolio and the Latino fighters absent of the portfolio, absent of a lot of essential tools that they think is required to sell tickets on a pay-per-view? Why is that the case? It seems like pure, uncut prejudice. As long as boxing has seen these black fighters step in the ring back in the day with other black fighters, this is no excuse today. It's just how certain individuals in high places choose to run their model. It's how they choose to scale these fights. And unfortunately, you know, the black fighters get to a point right now that they don't want to piss off certain fighters that they want to fight that's in a bigger position. Like, they ain't trying to piss off anybody. They're trying to fight. That's why they playing nice. Why do you have to do that? If you have the qualifications, why you have to kiss ass? It's the best fight the best, right? So if the best have the straps, not just in one division, but in two divisions, aren't they qualified? If they have more than one strap, aren't they qualified to step in there with these individuals that's on pay-per-view without being told they're not big fights? Then what are you doing? You just fighting mediocre fights? You're going to continue to sell, you're going to continue to sell to the crowd that Tank is a big draw. So it's contradicting either way you look at it. Tank is a big draw. He can continue to go in there and fight okay competition because he's the draw. He's on pay-per-view. He's about to sit out to next year and come back and fight. And look, I ain't mad at him because he had 2 fights this year, 2 big fights. When it comes to Tank Davis and the way they say it, he had 2 big fights this year. He had Hector Luis Garcia in January, and he had Ryan in April. Right? He had 2 fights. So he can take the rest of the year out. No problem. But we have other fighters in his weight class that would definitely like the opportunity that an Isaac Cruz may potentially get. You know what I'm saying? That an Isaac Cruz may potentially get in a rematch. And I don't get it. I don't see how you can take a fighter with a marginal resume, a compressed portfolio, and you put him in the ring and he goes the distance with Tank, and that's supposed to bring up your value. So if you was to put Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney in there, and they go the distance with Tank, you think Tank is going to give them a rematch? He said hell no when asked was he going to rematch Isaac Cruz. He said hell no. But word on the street is that's exactly what he's going to do. I don't get it. I don't get this shit, bro. It's I don't get it. Why does boxing always have to play these damn word games and talking about, oh, and then as they default, oh, a lot of these people don't know the business. Of course we don't. But we can tell you the A, B, and C based off what we actually see, SEE. And we see the resumes aren't adding up to saying that certain fighters aren't big fights based off their name, image, and likeness. But yet you get a regular Latino fighters that don't have any of a any more of a resume. I'm talking about credentialed resume, a portfolio to go in here and fight this guy. And they welcome with open arms to go in there and get this fight. Even from a lower weight class. Shakur Stevenson moved up from a lower weight class after dropping his belts, unified now. They would tell people that Shakur Stevenson, he ain't fought nobody at 135. But who the heck did Luis Garcia fight? Coming up 130 to 135. Who did he fight first? Did he have a tune-up fight? No. Was he a champion at 130? Yes. Was Shakur Stevenson a champion at 130? Yes, absolutely. Regardless if he lost his belts on the scale, he was a unified champion. When you look on his resume, just because you lose your belts on the scale doesn't expunge what you've been able to accomplish in that division. So I'm telling myself, like, boxing would never make sense, man. It's so much bullshit when it comes to this negotiation process. And a lot goes on with the shakers and movers, you know, matchmakers, promoters, and all that. And also it filters down into the septic tank of boxing media of the YTC. But this right here is self-explanatory. It's easy work. It's easy work. All I was hearing people say, Shakur ain't fought nobody. What has he done at 135? Black fighters got to get out that mentality of down and like y'all be quick to strip and try to shred another black fighter and saying they ain't did shit, but you're not paying attention to what your surroundings are and the matchups that's going on. You see these fighters fighting these Latino fighters, and they're not using the same language y'all are. Y'all busy up here talking about what has he done? He ain't did nothing at 135. Like, bro, who cares? Give him a shot. A lot of you got your shot. Y'all busy up here when it comes to another black fighter calling you out. Oh man, I don't like the way you talking to me. I don't like the way you talking to me. What have he done in this division? He ain't did shit. Tell him to get a belt. Yeah, we just seen how that played out in welterweight. And my people still up here acting a fool, act like you ain't seen what happened at the welterweight division to my get the belt shit. What has so-and-so done? The situation that played out with Crawford, it didn't teach you anything. There wasn't enough literature for you to see it how it played out, being that you all are students of the game. That didn't teach you anything. If it didn't, you're stupid. All this get a belt, and then at the end, what happened? Destruction. Black fighters feel like this not both black fighters in the equation, but it's always like one half of the black fighters when they come up to fight each other. They'll come in trash talking and all that shit, and then you get the other half talk about, well, what has he done? What are Latino fighters doing when they get these opportunities? Nothing. They're doing less than you, and they still getting in the ring and able to have the moment under the bright lights. You know what I'm saying? They're doing less than you. When it comes to black fighters, both having credentials, why do y'all say, what has he done? He ain't a big draw. Then if one half of you are not able to carry the load like Tank, then you should ask yourself, what should I do better? If you're not able to carry the load like Tank, and even though I don't agree with everything that they're talking about that says that Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney are not big fights when he's fought lesser tier fighters who haven't did shit at 135 either. Y'all need to figure out a way, like I said about Teofimo Lopez. Y'all need to figure out a way to build up your portfolio. Y'all need to find a way to build up your overall brand put stock, increase your appraising value, build up your boxing FICO. Y'all need to find out how to do this shit because we're struggling out this bitch. You know what I'm saying? They always tell us, even in the corporate world, you get a black that's in a certain position and all the struggles they had to go through. And it can be one person opposite of the black race that helped them out. And their primary focus is to say, that's who I'm going to help. It happens all the fucking time, yo. Instead of y'all being willing to face one another. Shakur Stevenson fought Jamel Herring. Why can't that happen all the time? Why can't that happen? Jamel Herring had a belt and he fought Shakur Stevenson. Why can't it happen all the time, bro? Why that every time, you know, a name come up for Javante, you have members, you have 2-tier names that was in the lightweight division that are qualified to face you outside of Hispanic fighters that's already been in the ring with less qualifications, and they're not big fights. But you're fighting fighters that aren't big names. So imagine if you fought fighters with a bigger name, a heavier portfolio, the numbers would be better. But you're looking at the drawing power of Tank Davis and what he's able to produce with a lower tier fighter just because he is the pay-per-view, he's the cash cow, so to speak, over there in that particular promotion. He's the one that's able to go up here and sell the fight. But what about him selling the fight and his opponent selling the fight? Yes, you're lopsided when you're talking about Tank Davis selling the fight because you feel that he's at a point right now where people want to come see him fight. But yet, if we're looking for the knockout, is he knocking out a Devin Haney or a Shakur Stevenson? That's the question I want to know. Let me get to some of these comments. Sound on deck, I see you. Rubber on deck, what's good, what's good? You already know they're not trying to risk Tank Zero just yet, unless it can be a record-breaking payday or something. And you know what? I have to check the box on what you just said, no doubt. Why? Because at the end of the day, that seems like that O is going to continue to shine like a diamond. But look, I don't think it really matters at the end of the day, because you see fighters like Canelo Alvarez who lost to Floyd Mayweather, right? And he continued to make millions upon millions upon millions. And this is the mentality, what I say about the blackness, the dark side. Canelo proved that you continue to be great and excel. Was it because he's a Mexican fighter? You know what I'm saying? Is it his culture, who he is? He wasn't an icon when he fought Floyd. He picked up his first loss early in his career. Did it stop him from making millions upon millions? He let his performances speak for him. His mystique, his bravado, machismo. That's what Canelo was able to do. Losing one time is not going to basically halt you. But when it comes to black fighters, man, I'm going to tell you, it does get rough sometimes. You know, they take one freaking L and people be losing their freaking mind. And I know the criticism that people are going to come with when it comes to Spencer Crawford. That's different. That's a different situation. Nobody's discounting the fact of Errol Spence with one loss because he fought Crawford. They're looking at how the one loss happened in the ring. They're not looking at, oh my God, he's finished, he's done. He got one loss, 28-1, he's done. No, they're looking at how he lost. Look at Isaac Cruz. He picked up another loss by going the distance, but yet somehow his stardom went up by losing the Tank. That's because Tank is used to knocking cats out, and he went the distance. Does that add any stock to Isaac Cruz's resume of him as a fighter because he couldn't get it done in 12 rounds? It's asinine, man. 10, 11, 12, 15. Stupid, man. They're not about to throw him to the wolves and not do millions of PPVs, make 100 million. And W says, salute, big bro. Team Bud, Team Shakur. W says, you see my profile pic, me and Shakur. Okay, that's what's up. I can't really see it. It's kind of small. Plus, my eyes ain't the way they used to. You got to remember, they know he gonna beat the dudes they put in there with. Yes, sir. And if that's the case, right? If that's the case, he's gonna beat the dudes he's in there with. Then that's the confidence that you have that Gervonta Davis is gonna, put the numbers where they belong. You know what I'm saying? He's the draw, right? So why can't he be the draw with Haney and Shakur? If you're gonna put him in there with fighters that it's gonna come a time in the fight that left hand is gonna land, the right hand, whatever, it's gonna land. It's only a matter of time. It's gonna land. And it's gonna be lights out. So if you know that Latino fighter brought nothing except their body to the ring, why can't a black fighter bring their body to the ring, especially if their portfolio holds a higher stock than these Latino fighters that came in there with just a fanny pack of a portfolio? They came in there with a fanny pack of portfolio for real. You know what I'm saying? The payloads was different. But yet, Isaac Cruz get all the glory in the world. People taking his autograph and all that. I'm like, bro, you didn't look good in Giovanni's fight. You won a split decision. A split decision, bro. Then you get the casuals up here. Well, they got to start somewhere. Look at Errol. Errol won a split decision over Sean Porter. So if he loses to Gervonta Davis, guess what? Gervonta Davis was the best in that, the division at the time, and it was a tough fight for Isaac Cruz. Man, come on, bro. It ain't the same. It ain't the same, bro. We need to promote these black fighters and stop saying they are not big fights. We need to start saying the right things. Why can't two black fighters do big numbers like everyone else? Okay, I'm about to good point there, Samuel. Why can't we? Okay, this is the deal. The way I look at it, Samuel. You're saying what we need to do, right? You're saying what we need to do. We as black people, we need to do this. And I'm telling you, we do. We support black fighters. But what I can say from my experience, right? I shouldn't have to come off as a docile African ferret. You know what I'm saying? Harmless. You can pet at any time. If you want to slap me on the back of my head and I don't do anything about it, say, oh, that's a nice little creature. I shouldn't have to be a little bunny rabbit. If the black media is able to support the fighters, the black fighters need to return that love so we can feel like, okay, we're needed, we're appreciated. You know what I'm saying? Because if black fighters allow themselves to connect with black media a bit better than what we have going on, then the respect will be an all-time high. You're not going to be able to make everybody happy. But what I've experienced is that if you attempt to get close to black fighters, someone with the big names, and you wasn't there when they was freaking working their way up the ladder, but yet you came onto the scene and you basically witnessed them evolving into something special. You blossoming. You seen them blossom. You saying, oh man, so-and-so gonna be special. They're gonna be extremely special, man. I like that fighter, this, that, and the other. I've heard black fighters be quick to say we're dick riding. I don't get that. They will tell you, you know what I'm saying? This is the caveat in response to what you said, promoting. It's a lot of black media that's out here promoting black fighters intensively, showing the love and support. We're showing that love and support. We're letting them know, dude, I rock with you. I support you. But you'll hear some shit like from someone say, hey man, you know, I got word, you know, I know you be trying to support so-and-so, but they think you dick riding this, that. How what are you talking about? You know, you find some of these fighters that get with these very young videographers, these individuals that's willing to low call through the trenches in the mud just to work long hours, don't eat this, that, and the other, instead of getting a seasoned, mature adult that understands, you know, how certain areas of media supposed to work, right? They're ready to get the youngins that's just going all out, tag along. You know what I'm saying? If they fuck up, you can talk to them any kind of way. We do promote them. As black media, we try our damnedest to promote these black fighters. We do. But if the black fighters ain't fucking with black media, I don't know what to tell you. A lot of these black fighters don't fuck with black media. That's the truth. I'm not saying that's all black media, but you see a distinct difference when you see these other medias out here that's non-black, and they up here having teams, and they will cater to them like no other. I've seen it, bro. I've experienced it. Who am I at my age, retired vet, done been in real world situations, them brief real world situations at the Pentagon? Who am I to get out here and think and have them think I'm kissing their ass? It's no way in hell. My energy on what I present to promote these fighters is nowhere close to ass kissing. It is basically showing you that my intentions are fair and sincere. I'm motivated, hungry to get your name out there. As long as you give me the same in return and allow me access to, you know, what you got going on, I'm cool. I'm cool with it. And there are some out there. Like I always big up these fighters. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Jihad Tucker, his team Tucker. I appreciate being able to cover him on those fights. You know what I'm saying? By way of Shaw News. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that. He's an up and coming young lion in the game, man. He ain't no prospect no more. Man, I appreciate that love. I appreciate Deontay Wilder. I appreciate the time I had with Teofimo Lopez. You know what I'm saying? Even though I've had one interview with Crawford, every time I freaking see him in public, I'm able to get some type of picture. He ain't never treated me no kind of way. It would be good to have more access, but look, I'm not here to try to figure out why I can't get more access to fighters I rock with heavy. I'm not here to figure that out. Maybe it's my demeanor. I don't smile enough. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to figure this shit out. All I know is at my age, I'm not going to stay in one place for a long period of time. to wait and wait and wait and wait and wait and wait. Oh my God, I'm goddamn going on 70. Hey man, what? You still trying to get that one interview? Yeah, nigga can't even goddamn. You can't understand what the hell I'm saying. I remember when WCS was back here in 2023. He didn't sound like that, man. Look at this. Listen to his videos. But now, goddamn it, that nigga sound like Riddick Bowe. I'm just saying, dog. We tried down to support this. Real talk. And the worst experiences, seriously, the worst experiences I've had with disrespect has been black fighters. With disrespect. I mean, I'm talking about acknowledgement that you're an adult. Disrespect. Just treating you like you don't even freaking need to be in my presence. I don't give a damn. Like, I don't even go around here talking about, I'm military. Please do an interview. I'm military. Do you support the vets? Do you support the vets? Do you support the vets? You know what I'm saying? Do you support? I'm a military vet. Military vet shouldn't matter. It should be just based off the principles, based off who I am, what my catalog is, the work I put in, the miles I've traveled. You know what I'm saying? It should be based off that. It should be based off that. But no, it's just like whatever. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. It ain't no higher. Look, I don't want to work for nobody. But just because I'm not with a team doesn't mean I shouldn't be able to get access. Like, I shouldn't have to be a boxer trainer, you know, a boxing trainer to get interviews. I should not say, well, yeah, you know, I don't have a professional career, but I did have about 100 amateur fights and I'm this and that. And I know this fighter and that fighter. Man, come on, bro. They can't give the Devin Shakur a nickel and a ball of soda. They can't, man. And you know how we always say how sad that is? It ain't even sad no more. It's just fucked up. I ain't gonna lie. It's just fucked up. It's just fucked up. You can't give him a nickel and a ball of soda just to get in the ring with him. Like, this is once again how I say about the Crawford situation and how mesmerizing and hypnotic it was for these people to go through what they're going through now. They believed this man was garbage and his resume was non-existent, right? But then you look at how they say about they're not big fights. So you're saying that these individuals, whoever they are, you can say they're good fighters, but they're not good enough to step in the ring with your fighter. They're not big fights, but they're good fighters. So a good fighter isn't good enough to step in the ring with your fighter, even though your fighter has stepped in the ring with good fighters prior to. What allowed them to have access to your fighter with lower qualifications and credentials than the fighters who have higher qualifications and credentials? How does that work? How does the bias just sit up there like that, dressed for the occasion, and it just goes? People are able to get away with it. You know what I'm saying? It don't make any sense, man. It's just messed up. Real talk. It's just messed up. At the end of the day, it's messed up, bro. Man, Charlo, man. I see your comment. I'm not even gonna get on it right now. You're exactly right. The Rolly, Cruz, Hector Garcia are there because they're champ. Main reason. Hey, man. Hey, if Gervonta is the one that's bringing in the money, primarily he's the heavier side, right? Not the A side. He's the heavier side, right? And these fights bring in pay-per-view numbers because you got to be the heavy side when you're on pay-per-view and you're making this money. Gervonta is the heavy side. So since he's on the heavy side, the other side really don't matter because people coming to see him destroy his opposition. So now, after we've seen what he's capable of, now it gets to a point of who you're fighting. So are you fighting someone that can give you a very competitive contest? That's the question now. We already know you have the numbers. You're the talented fighter. We know that. We know that. But you have other talented fighters in your same division. But yet, when it comes to them, they're not big fighters. I mean, they're not big fights. Why? Why aren't they big fights? If Shakur Stevenson was former unified, just like Tank was. Tank was a multi-division champion moving up from 130. And he got an immediate shot with Gamboa. I can understand for the business part, like Leonard says, yes, they doing it the way they want to, and they have a jewel, and they looking for the next Tank Kamel. He's on this way. He has a long ways to go. He has a shadow and a silhouette over him. He looks like Tank Davis. He's supposed to be the next best. He's going to have so much pressure on him to perform. But I'm telling you, they're going to inflate him properly. They're going to inflate that kid properly to build him up. What they learned from Tank Davis, they're going to apply the pros and the cons based off Tank Davis, how they built him up. And they're going to try to do a better job with this Tank Davis 2.0. And it's going to get to a point where Kamel is going to, he's going to find out what it is. You know what I'm saying? The love-hate relationship that boxing has with these fighters. They hoping they can't wait. They can wait it out and get a Mayweather type super fight. This is the thing I'm saying. This is what I'm saying, Sal. When you talk about getting a Mayweather type fight. So you're trying to tell me the only way that they can get a Mayweather type fight is they have to find a Canelo opponent. Is that what you're saying? In order for them to get a Mayweather type fight, they have to find a Conor McGregor? Because if they're looking for a Conor McGregor, then that's where Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney comes into play, because they have more ring experience in the boxing in the sport of boxing than Conor McGregor ever had. Are they looking for a Manny Pacquiao? What are they looking for? Because if they're looking for Manny Pacquiao proved that not every Filipino fighter is a Manny Pacquiao, just like every black fighter isn't a Floyd Mayweather. So how are you going to find that opposition for a Floyd Mayweather-esque fight? You have to build it up. You have to build this shit up. How do you build that fight up? It's no Floyd Mayweather-esque fights floating around out here if you're going to continue to say that they're not big fights. Sometimes you have to see something play out, and then you allow the maturation process to say, oh shit, I didn't see that coming. That was a good fight right there. Whoo, that was a good fight. We got to get a rematch. We got to get a rematch. We got to hit him in the head twice. We got to get a rematch. We got to get a rematch. But if you don't even allow, you refute or reject the fight, the name of the fighter, and you don't even want to see that name on a contract to basically go through the process of, let me just take a risk here and see how this fight plays out. Let's do it. But they're not a big fight. Let's just see. It has potential. Let's just see if it plays out. It has potential, y'all. Let's just be patient and see. And then something crazy and miraculous happen. Something amazing happened. And you end up getting this incredible fight. Now people want to see it a second time. You're able to generate more revenue. But in boxing, more times than not, man, you know what I'm saying? People sit up here and they just look at a name and they say, no, not a big fight. Who else is going to be the Floyd Mayweather fight? Which Floyd Mayweather fight are you talking about? Who else is Oscar De La Hoya? I'm just curious. Who else is Oscar De La Hoya? That's all. I mean, how are you going to find the Floyd Mayweather fight? Because Tank isn't Floyd Mayweather. Floyd was a different kind of guy. Floyd was a different type of salesman. So in order for somebody to get the Floyd Mayweather fights, who's going to be that? Are we going to get a Gervonta Teofimo Lopez? That would be a good fight. If you're trying to say black Hispanic, You know what I'm saying? That would be a good fight. Who's out there within the weight division, within the range of the weight division? Who's out there? You know what I'm saying? How do we just sit up here and reject two black fighters that's in your weight class and former, and champions at that, and just put it off like, no, we just don't even want to give it a try. We don't even want to fill out the paperwork on it and give it a try. Every fight is not going to gross you more numbers than you did last time. That's impossible if you fight names like Isaac Cruz, Hector Luis Garcia, Rolly Romero. You ain't increasing your numbers off that shit. How can you prove that you increasing your numbers off those names? No, bro, you got to fight somebody like with a bigger name than those guys. Much more of a high risk. You know what I'm saying? Much more of a high risk. And let's see how it plays out. If you don't want that to happen, then people are going to say, well, you're avoiding big names, period. Maybe Pitbull knew the Showtime situation and didn't want to risk a Tank rematch by fighting someone else. Because if he lost, his stock would drop. His only claim to fame is a Tank draw. So, Toby, you make a solid point, brother. But let's understand something with what you just put. The criteria from what my interpretation is and what you put is pretty much, it's okay for Isaac Cruz not to want to take a risk to jeopardize a future rematch with Tank. But if it was Devin Haney or Shakur Stevenson not taking a fight just because it may risk a fight with another fighter, it is called a what again? A duck. And people will say, oh, it's a duck. It's effed up. It'll be trash talking all in the media. Oh, you don't want to fight. You just want to hold on to the belts. What if Devin Haney didn't want to fight Lomachenko? What if he didn't want to fight Lomachenko? The golden child of boxing. What if Shakur Stevens said, you know what, Frank Martin, I don't want to fight you? Why? I mean, you're just not a fighter that I was looking forward to fight. I don't want to fight you. What if Devin Haney would have gave offer Shakur Stevenson 40%? Something enticing to that. What if he would have said 40%? And Shakur said, no, that ain't enough, man. You got to add another 5% on that. People gonna be like, what? He giving you 60-40, dog. What if he would have gave him an enticing offer, enough for the fan base and everybody else to look at it and say, you know what, that's fair. And Shakur turned around and said, no, I don't want that. Now, I'm not trying to go there. How does it work itself out in understanding that Isaac Cruz get a pass for saying, I'm going to fight these okay fighters, these average fighters, when you've been in there with Tank Davis? So Isaac Cruz is not building up his stock, Toby. That's what you're saying. Isaac Cruz is unwilling to build up his stock to better complement Tank in the rematch. So he's doing nothing but waiting around at the bus station. He's doing absolutely nothing except waiting at the bus station for that motherfucking shit to leave and go to the damn arena where he's facing Tank. So if Isaac Cruz doesn't have to do anything in between fights because he don't want to jeopardize his stock, and he's going to fight average fighters, and he's not building up his fight core at all, then what's so difficult about the black fighters doing the same thing? If Isaac Cruz want to fight mediocre opposition and wait like a good little boy until he fight freaking Gervonta Davis, how is he coming in with more than he had previously? How can he get away with it? Don't even bring any more production. Like, you're bringing nothing else to the fight, nothing else to the pay-per-view. You haven't fought anyone else for people to just say, oh man, so-and-so, you see who he knocked out in between? Oh man, he's doing, and he look impressive. Oh man, Tank he's improved since he fought Tank the first time. He's improved. No one, and I mean no one, is gonna say that about Isaac Cruz. But you know what? It ain't nobody talking about it because they don't care. Because he gets the pass. Why? Because he was able to go in there and go the distance with Tank. And then he fought all these damn fighters that's on the outskirts of their career on their way out the door. Who cares he knocked out Gamboa? Come on, bro. Did he knock out Giovanni like that? Did he knock out Giovanni? All those headshots, it don't seem like he's improving at all to me. All those loading up headshot. So that's all I'm saying, Toby. How can he go about coming off a fight with Tank Davis and everybody's praising him? Oh, you know, Viva la Mexico. His stock value go up from losing now. And Tank said he ain't gonna give him a rematch. And he doesn't even fight higher tier opposition to prepare him to better build his portfolio to head back in there for a rematch with Tank. And everybody's okay with it. It's okay that we get the rumor mill that Isaac Cruz is gonna be next for Tank. It may be a potential. He may be next in 2024. Something. If he's not next, he might be after that. That's crazy. That doesn't make any sense, man. That's bullshit. Real talk. Because if a black fighter was fighting what they call ragu cans, coming off a big fight, people are gonna say in between time he ain't fought nobody. He fought lower opposition than Tank. Lower opposition. But yet, when they say, hey, why would he risk fighting a top tier opposition, mess up his fight with Tank? Okay, so he don't need to improve as a fighter. All he need is a schedule. So he meet the schedule. And he pretty much, those particular the fighters that he fought did nothing to build up or get him more experience. It did nothing for his improvement and productivity as a fighter. So he can go back in there with Tank, the same basic fighter he was the first time. I got it. Real talk, I got it. I think I'm on to something. You know what I'm saying? I get it. Yeah, I heard it over here. It's big news. I hear you, Blunt. Yeah, I heard it over here. It's big news for sure, but I can't tell you what it is though. I know, man. We got big. Oh, we got some big fights. We got some big fights. Oh my God. Let me tell you, we got some big fights. Man, I'm tired of hearing that shit, dog. It's always big fights. Can you give me one big fight? No, man. Hell no, dog. We don't do that in boxing. They only do that in MMA. They only do that in MMA, man. You know what I'm saying? We have to become the owner of the store. Then we won't have to ask for a job. There are owners out there, Charles, and I get what you're saying. No doubt about it. Solid point. Unfortunately, this is a sport that is not regulated. So in order for you to be an owner of a store, you have to have the funds to be able to be that promoter. You have to look at it this way, Charles. You have to not just be the owner of the store, but the numbers in your account, the team that you have, they have to be solid enough that if you're putting on these fights and you want to build up your reputation too, you're going to have the money to pay these fighters. And if you're the owner of a store that's not big enough or popular enough, right, for people to come to your arena, and granted, if you're the owner of the store, your store is going to be smaller than these stores that's been out here that's not even stores no more. They're not even stores now. They're conglomerates. They're out here throwing fights in some of the biggest arenas in the world. You know what I'm saying? So they looking at you because you're the owner of your store, and they saying, "Oh, that's cute. That's adorable. What you sitting in? 4,000, 5,000, 6? Oh, that's adorable. Oh, wow, that's cute." I remember I was there maybe about 30 years ago. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing about being the owner of your store. This game is tough. It takes money to pay those site fees, in these certain meccas. You know what I'm saying? It takes money if you want to build up and put some big names on your card. You got to have the money to pay them guys. Where you going to get the money at? You got to have connects. You got to have people willing to invest. Yes, sir, man. It's tough, man. It is tough. That's why you only see the big names. You know what I'm saying? When the zone came on the scene, all they was talking about, Eddie got this $1 billion deal. No, he didn't get $1 billion. Everything he was getting from the owner was contingent. You know what I'm saying? It was contingent on a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? On the production of how the zone was going and how he was able to put on fights. That's all. They can fight and probably will sell the same as a Hispanic fighter, but after taking the L, they might not be as popular with how the fan base operates. You're making some solid points there. You're basically saying they can sell the same as a Hispanic fighter. That's all I'm saying, bro. But the same and more than a Hispanic fighter. But just because they're a black fighter, they always get this stop sign. The palm. They always get the palm. The palm of the hand. Stop. No, you're not a big fight. I mean, like, man, that shit is old because you're not putting up the same stop sign for these Hispanic fighters who doesn't even have the same weight of their portfolio. They don't even have the same list of qualifications, but yet they get entry, no problem. And they don't have no pay-per-view numbers or anything, but you still dance with them. And you need to start dancing with black fighters too. Yep. I remember Sugar Ray versus Hagler. Hearns all sold well. Mike Tyson did well. So no matter who he faced. So what has changed? Exactly. What has changed, Toby? Maybe you can get an answer to that question. Then it can clear up a lot of, fog that continues to cloud people's judgment in this boxing game. They always want to talk about the business and all this other shit, but a lot of people don't know the business because they're not at the tables. They don't know how underhanded this business is when it comes to boxing. How many, these boxers get kept on the outside, ostracized. You know what I'm saying? They don't know what the conversation is like. We're looking at fighters that should be in the square and wondering why they ain't. And we ask ourselves, why that fighter ain't fighting that fighter? They won championships here. And then they want to say, oh, it's because of black fighter. Because of black fighter. So if black fighters aren't selling, right? Fighting other black fighters. I mean, where is this department where all the Hispanic fighters, the murderous row of Hispanic fighters, Latino fighters, where are they? When are they coming out the conveyor belt? Carlos said Ellerbe has a master game of cap. Ellerbe, he stays to his he stays on the same. He does the same thing. He sticks to what works for him. He's been in the game a long time. That's one thing. Ellerbe is an OG, man. But some of the stuff he says, it's politics. Straight up and down, man. He's a politician in this boxing game. He's not going to ever go against the system that raised him up. Ever he ain't. Not to mention Mayweather may be in great synonymous with being undefeated. Yeah. But I look at it like this. I'm about to show you something. Check this out. I went through this again, but this is Floyd Mayweather now. Conor McGregor wasn't black. 390 million. Canelo Alvarez, 80 million. Miguel Cotto, 45 million. He go black fighter. The attrition, the of action in 2010, 40 million. Victor Ortiz, 40 million. So out of all the names I just put out there, Sugar Shane Mosley was the sole survivor. You know what I'm saying? He was the sole survivor. He's a sole survivor, man. This shit is crazy, bro. You know, people can't. Floyd is out the sport, man. Everybody can't be and do what Floyd was able to do. You can't. It's too tough, man. Let's be real. The Latinos support boxing more than anyone else. And Floyd figured that out a long time ago. I can get more if I fight versus Latinos, but it hurts their legacy down the line. Okay. I agree that Latinos, they support boxing. So does blacks, so do Europeans, so does everybody else. You have a collective percentage of fight fans from all over, right? Filipinos, I believe they fan base heavier than Latinos. I do. I've experienced their union or their unity when a fight come up and how heavy they support their fighters. But with that said, it's a slippery slope saying that, because I've seen Hispanics really get down and grimy. I mean, Latinos. It depends on where they was born and what fighters in the ring. They will support, like they will get aggressive. They will let you know. They will get active quick to support their fighter. God damn it, I'm serious. They worse than black fight fans, man. Seriously. So you know, I tread lightly on that, but we know the baby production, the reproduction of Latino babies aren't going anywhere, right? So you're trying to tell me with the continued growth in population, we're going to continue to model the scale when in 2043, the same way we did in 2023, only because Latinos have a solid fan base. So we need to continue to push this failed scale where black fighters not fighting each other except every other freaking 6 years or 10 years or whatever. That shit don't make no sense, man. You know what I'm saying? It had take us 5 years for the Spence Crawford fight to happen, and it turned out the way it did. That should be a lesson to everyone. Seriously, I talk my talk about how I say mortal the immortal and Thanos and all that. But if you take the humor away from it and see where I'm actually trying to go, 5 years it took that fight to play out with people underestimating who he was, and it wouldn't sell, and cause Bud ain't did this, and then you got, you know, Spence supposed to be the face, the name, you know what I'm saying, over there at PBC. He's supposed to be the man, and then he gets in there and he get eaten up the way he did. That's a perfect example, because if they wouldn't have waited so long and fought and fought Crawford before he fought Sean Porter. We don't know. It would have turned out different. Something special could have happened. This right here, the way, the fight played out wasn't special. This is a fight that happened 5 years in the making. And Crawford goes in here and destroys this guy. That wasn't special. That wasn't a special fight. That was a one-sided whooping. That wasn't special. And then we're going into the rematch only because it's contractual. But the fans ain't calling for the rematch, especially the pro Spence fans, because they're busy running the other way, making excuses. This was supposed to be a special fight. This was supposed to be a fight that you say, I want more. Just like coming off the draw, the controversial draw, Canelo Gennady. People wanted to see the rematch. Coming off the Deontay Wilder Fury, people wanted to see the rematch. They wanted to see the rematch. But this is two black fighters, bro. This is two black fighters. They waited all this time only to see the more popular fighter who's supposed to be putting all these pay-per-view numbers up go in there and get his ass beat by a fighter that wasn't doing the numbers. So if that don't teach you anything about this so-called model of the black fighters not being big fights, then you're not paying attention like you're supposed to. You know what I'm saying? We're going to keep on saying, no, they ain't a big fight. They ain't a big fight. And then one of these fighters go in here and win the big fight. The same fighters that's you saying it's not big fights, but they're talented. They're not big fights, but they're talented. They're not big fights, but they're dangerous. They're not big fights, but they're high risk. So this high risk fighter who's supposedly not selling tickets, they get the entry and they win. Now what? Now what? How do you sell a rematch? How do you get more out of the fight if it was dominating? Somebody's going to lose out. Numbers only matter if Tank can potentially lose. They just don't want to say that. That's why I can't respect the route Devin Haney is taking. He's getting his money and building a legacy. That's why I can respect the route Devin Haney is taking. He's getting his money and building a legacy. He doesn't have to play good boy to get fights. He's framing Tank as an exhibition fight. I just think he should have did more to get the Shakur fight, to be honest. If he really wanted the fight, he should have did more to get the Shakur fight. You know what I'm saying? And MD, I know you said you respect him, but let's be honest. It's a fight, one of the last sightings of Devin Haney. You know what I'm saying? Fighting a black fighter. I mean, you don't have too many of those sightings, right? But let me just take you. Let's put on the scuba gear a little bit there, MD, and go for a dive in freaking Devin Haney's resume as far as black fighters. Vasyl Lomachenko, George Kambosos twice, Joseph Diaz, Jorge Linares, Jukis Gamboa, Alfredo Santiago, Zaur Abdullayev, Antonio Moran, Ndungeni, Carlos Burgos, Mason Menard, Sempewu, Mario Tinoco, Miguel, Hector, Toola, Valenzuela, Mesa, Avila, and then the lone Mike Fowler. You know what I'm saying? The lone Mike Fowler. Let's keep it going. Castillo, Mraz, Burns, Vargas, Vasquez, Melendez. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Seriously. Do you get where I'm at with it? Devin has stayed far away from black fighters. Far away. Devin has one black fighter on his entire resume of 30 professional fights. Okay, MD, I just thought would be a good time for you and I to put on the scuba gear and basically descend into the depths of the boxing aquatics there, MD. That's all. One black fighter. Whew. Good Lord. There was this, you see Charlo watching film. I mean, Charlo been watching film. It's not the fact that he never he watched film now. He watched film. No doubt about it. He watched film. That's a fact, Jack. He watched film. Let me see. Hold on for a second. Hold on, y'all. Wonder what happened because the black versus black fighters were huge back in the day. For example, Hagler, Hearns, and Leonard. Exactly. So even though it seems like the model has changed a bit, it's gotten more expensive for promotions to put on fights. Boxing was struggling during the pandemic, whereas you saw the UFC, whenever they got the open, boom, they was out there. Wherever they found in Florida someone who was willing to put on a fight during the pandemic, they was there. Boom. Not so much with boxing. They decide to take their time and tiptoe back into it. That's because they're not an entity. You have separate promoters. See, with the UFC, they are a promotion, but they are able to make more moves without depending on a variety of entities to make those decisions. They're their own entity. They was able to move and groove however they seen. They was matchmakers there, and they had the whole package. So they was able to move and groove. As in boxing, they're operating off antiquated freaking business scale and models. And they're limited because they're so dependent off the economy. I may not be explaining it thoroughly, but when you have a non-regulated sport, they're just dependent on certain areas that they don't have no control over. And those areas will continue to influence them and allow them to move at a snail's pace in situations where they should be able to move faster than what they're doing. That's just my opinion. Maybe I skipped over some stuff, but they should be able to move more efficiently in 2023 than they did in 1999. They should be able to move more efficiently, bro. I mean, come on, man. It shouldn't even be a question, yo. It shouldn't even be a question. It should be way more productive. It should be way more progress at this stage in boxing. We're still struggling. Boxing is still struggling. You know what I'm saying? We're still riding off this antiquated model. This shit is clandestine, bro. It's like, how can we sit up here and not get this fight, that fight, this fight? Gotta wait. The UFC is over there putting on big fights all the time. They have multiple people. They will lose and be able to have a chance to come back into a big fight to build themselves up for another championship run. As in boxing, you lose and people's like, well, you know what I'm saying? You look at Gennady Golovkin. after the rematch. It took him like 7 fights to get back in there with Canelo Alvarez. And look, y'all, Gennady didn't lose in between that time. And it still took Canelo 7. I mean, Jesus Christ, man. If they was coming off a rematch that was so-called very entertaining, why couldn't they just goddamn go into a trilogy just to get it all? It wasn't even a rubber match. It was just like a draw. Canelo won the second one, and then we should have got the trilogy. But it took Canelo 7 fights. Man, boxing should be way ahead of that shit, dog. Ellerbe just mastered how to talk like a manager. He's always been capped. It's still big color. They are just scared of not winning. They can't be scared, man, because you say your fighter is the fighter. Tank is the fighter. No offense or buts about it. Tank is the fighter. Tank is a draw. Tank is a dangerous fighter. But then on the other side of that, like I'm hearing you all in the chat, you're saying that they're scared to lose his O. Why? Why are you scared for this man to lose his O if he's that talented? He's that freaking talented, man. Why is he afraid to lose his O? He's talented. He's one of the best in the game. Shout out to Dr. Paul on deck, man. How's your wife doing? I'm saying, how both of y'all doing, really? Good to see you in the building, man. No prayers to both of y'all. Shaw News, real boxing talk, preach WCS, appreciate it. Shout out to Shaw News, the Sauce Experience, aka Showtime Shaw, the news by Shaw News. Make sure y'all check him out, man. Support the brother. You know what I'm saying? Out here grinding, and putting out that content. You know what I'm saying? Good shit, man. Salute to you. That's good, Dr. Paul. Yeah, it's good to see you, hear your wife doing better than what she was before. That's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Because somebody can be on here one day and then the next they gone, man. You know what I'm saying? The next they're gone. Real talk. Real talk. Shout out to Team Tucker Official, no doubt about it. Shout out to True Media Today, USA Boxing, Coach Malachi in the building. What's going on with you, Coach? That's true at WCS. I'm so far trying to catch up on the chat. I don't even know what you was referring to. I try to keep up with the chat, but hey. The Latin fighters rock with the Latin reporters off top. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. You absolutely. I'm talking about 1,000,000%. And that has a lot with what was said earlier about we need to promote these black fighters. We do. We promote these black fighters, man. But when we try to get interviews behind the scene, we have to ask multiple times. You know what I'm saying? And I said that shit like 6 or 7 times just then. You know, I'm saying it with the intent of multiple is more than one. I mean, how, you know, we support. It's a lot of people on here support these fighters, and they just support them just because it's an agenda. I'm not talking about somebody dropping some money to you every month to support the fighter. I'm talking about genuinely supporting, you know, fighters. What about the black fighters that don't know you? I've seen this shit play out so many times with all this docile, adorable type, passive aggressive voice. If you can, I seen you on there, and I just like your drip. You have some of the nicest cars ever. Talk about the socks you got on. I seen your socks. Your socks is a different color, you know, that I've ever seen in life. The color grade is amazing. Oh man, and the drip that you have, you know what I'm saying? If I go up there and my voice sounds like some of these other guys that can ask the dumbest questions and get an answer with a smile, y'all, with a smile on their face. Who cut your hair? That is a nice fade. I mean, they obviously been cutting for quite some time. The way they faded you up and blended it, I cannot see the line at all. Very smooth. Very, very smooth, man. How much you pay for your haircut? Oh, man. And that's with a tip included or without? Oh, that's what I thought. I knew that wouldn't be with a tip included. So yeah, you really support your barbers, huh? Okay, great, great. I saw your car when it pulled up. I noticed you have the new Lambo, the 2023 Lambo, and I seen it on All Access. Did you drive that here? Oh, you did? How was the ride? Oh man, I bet you had some fun in that car going across Death Valley. Didn't you? You know what I'm saying? We can't get away with that. I can't get away with it. If I was to try to say, hey, excuse me, hey Charlie, can I talk to you for a second? Is there any way I can stop by your house, man, and do an exclusive? Fuck no, nigga, I don't know you. Well, I mean, fuck that. You ain't come on my house. You trying to rob me or something, nigga? You set me up. That's how we do, man. They think you trying to set them up. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look, anybody tell you, I've been out here. I try to support these fighters, and you know, some of them are good to go, and others they look at you like it's day one. If you're looking at me like it's day one all the time, I don't have time. If you're looking like it's day one every time I walk up to you, I don't have time. The ones that know the last time, I'm cool with it. I'm gonna show you utmost like a intention and you know what I'm saying, and give you the press that you need. But you get these fighters that act like every moment that you see them is day one, and you have to basically build on the starting point all over again. No, I'm not doing that. You've seen me several times over. I'm not at ground zero every time I see you in public. It should be, hey, what's going on? You should be able to dap that person up or a fist bump on whatever you feel comfortable with and say, is it possible to get an interview? You good? Not just, hey man, I get with it. I get with it later. I get with it later. Get with it later. I get with you later. I get with it later. I got a lot to do. I get with you later. Get with it later. And then you see them talking to another freaking media joking around and shit like that for 15, 30 minutes. But yet when you try to do it, they say, oh, I gotta go. I got stuff to do. I got a heavy schedule, this, that, and that. Man, come on, bro. Why has anyone jumped into the ring in a Tank's post-fight interview? That would stop him from cherry picking. Fans would demand the fight. I'm just saying. I look at it this way. Shout out to Jason. Look at it this way, Jason. Shakur Stevenson. You're talking about Devin jumping in the ring with Ryan Garcia. You know what I'm saying? Devin jumping in the ring with Vasyl Lomachenko. But when Shakur Stevenson jumped in the ring with Devin Haney, he didn't even go out there and face and talk shit to that man. He walked away. That's what I'm saying, man. Some of the actions that goes on between my people are just frustrating, bro. It's just frustrating when it comes to this combat sports. You can jump in the ring with a Ryan Garcia and Vasyl Lomachenko, but yet when Shakur jumps in the ring with you, you have an issue with it, so much to the fact that you don't even entertain it. You walked out. You don't even get no face-to-face, one-on-one, give the fans what they want. You walked out like he ain't nothing. And then you want to make it about media. Oh, I didn't want to face you in the ring when you came in as a man and as a fighter to make the fight. I want to take it to social media and make it personal. That's when both fighters start jarring back and forth in the media. I mean, we heard about the sparring shit. It's not going to change the way people look at these fighters' careers. You know what I'm saying? If Bill said what he said and he didn't know he was being recorded, that's between him and Shakur Stevenson. But my whole point is, like, what does it have to do with making the fight? A lot. Because if you would have faced off in the ring and showed that, okay, you about that, cool, and then went up here and gave a reasonable freaking amount, then it comes into play and people are going to look at it like this. Okay, Shakur Stevenson, he gave you the amount of money. You know what I'm saying? You get to fight for all the belts, Shakur. You get to fight for all the belts. But then WCS, I have to, stay within the guidelines. I say, well, it's not like Shakur ain't never won a championship. Also, if you're unwilling to negotiate for yourself, who's going to do it? You got to stand your ground sooner or later and say, you know what? No, I want more money. I want more money. Because I can't just keep on using Teofimo Lopez as an example. I can't. because Teofimo is not black, but what he did is respectable. I use Teofimo because he stood on his shit and he was able to negotiate both fights. He negotiated the Lomachenko and the Kambosos fight. What's wrong with Shakur Stevenson doing that with Devin Haney? Oh, they're not entertaining it? Man, come on, bro. They're not gonna entertain it. Our money, what's good? I mean, you're not gonna entertain the shit. How do the black fighters get on the same playing field with each other and both win? It's a win-win. How does that work? One of the most special parts of the Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford situation was when Errol Spence said we get to make bank, and they dapped each other up. To me, that was the most special part of the whole fight when it came to two black men coming together and getting paid for real. They were talking about Errol was all dehydrated and stuff. He was standing up there at the weigh-in, and he was coherent enough to say, we both get to make bank. So they both was getting paid. So at that point in time, them doing the face-off, it was a certain level that was radiating between them. Like, we're on the highest level. We're about to go ahead and one of the biggest fights in boxing, and we're getting paid respectfully. Both of us is getting paid, unlike that net pay shit that was going on last year. Everybody was running around talking about a Crawford should have took it. That was one of the most special moments of the whole fight for me. When they dapped each other up and say, man, we about to get paid. We're about to get paid, period. That right there was it. And also seeing them hug at the end, but more so them dapping each other up and Spence saying, we about to get paid. And Crawford's like, yeah, two black men about to get paid in the sport of boxing. I wonder how long it's going to take for that shit to happen again. I don't think that's going to happen no time soon, bro. Seriously, I don't see it happening. Where's it going to happen at? Somebody help me understand. Where's that shit going to happen again? Just look at the 154-pound division and tell me how many fights did you see on the forecast that's black fighters fighting each other? I think what Sean Porter was able to do was special. He was able to step in there with the Keith Thurman and an Errol Spence. He was. Kudos to him. That shit still don't happen often. Look at the 140-pound division. How often are you seeing two black fighters step in the ring together? 130-pound division. Who? 126-pound division. The one black that we seen in the super bantamweight, Stephen Fulton, he lost his titles in a bad way. But it wasn't like it was another black fighter in there to challenge him and build up a rivalry. What about the bantamweight division? I'm just saying. Black fighters, hey, to earn that name, we're in the hurt locker right now. Old school term. Hurt locker. We're in trouble. It's more Hispanics. If you go on the amateur level and see all these Hispanic fighters, you say to yourself, God damn, these are a lot of Hispanic fighters. And also this, right? It's a lot of Hispanic judges in USA boxing. For real. You have to go to some of these amateur tournaments and see it for yourself. It's a lot. And look, I know some black amateur fighters in there that's not overstayed. They want to continue to fight amateur, man. They don't want to go to the freaking professional ranks. I don't know what's going on with them. When are you going to go to the professional ranks, bro? It's not about numbers because the numbers will be there. It's about them being scared of the competition. If you tell a fighter like Tanky scared, he's going to laugh. You know what I'm saying? It's just a fact that at the end of the day, some of these fighters just want to have their cake and eat it too. It's pretty much if they can make money and the easiest route possible, that's what they're going to do. They say, I could take less punishment or I can go in there and fight a low tier average fighter and still get paid. I'm good and still make money. At the end of the day, money is what's gonna last longer than a title. It's fucked up, but that's truth, man. Money's gonna last longer than a title, y'all. I've been a boxing fan since the 1950s. I'm 74 if you want to know, and we are still lacking. All right, Charles. We got a triple OG on deck, 74 on deck. Respect to you, brother. Respect to you, man. 74 years and on a live chat talking this boxing. That's what I'm talking about, man. God bless you, man. That's what I'm talking about. Appreciate it, Blunts. Be sure to hit the like button. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We need to hit that like button. I would appreciate it. Don't be shy. You know what I'm saying? Don't be shy. Hit the like button. And for those of you, I barely asked this. For those of you that choose to want to donate, like I said before, yeah, my channel got demonetized, but I'm still out here, doing what I do. You know what I'm saying? Those of you that's going to support, it's going to support. That's how it is. We have to have more vision. We definitely have to find it somehow, some way. Look, I'm looking at Shakur Stevens, the emperor. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying to myself, he's doing everything he's supposed to do. Now he gets to the lightweight division. It seems like, yeah, he's about to fight for the WBC title. Kudos. But for Shakur Stevenson and how many people that he take care of in his life, his family and everything, he wants the bag. He wants the bag. But this crazy freaking what they trying to consider to be a riddle, these hardships of these fighters that's getting all these championships and not being able to get the big fights is lunacy, man. How can you get the championships and build up your portfolio, but yet you're not a big draw? So where's the starting point? The inception have to be somewhere. The ECP has to open at some time. Y'all know what the ECP is, the entry control point. The ECP has to open up for pay-per-view. If you can continue to say, oh man, so-and-so is not a big draw. Okay, allow them access to be the big draw. Allow them to draw with you. Allow both of you to have a combination of drawing power to start making revenue, bro. Tired of this nonsense about, oh, they're not big fights. They're not big fights. They're not big. Allow them to be big fights. If you got a fighter that you say I'm making all the numbers, doing all the numbers, bring on a dance partner that's outside the norm of a Latino fighter. Bring in some of these black fighters, man. Because, that's why I pay attention to the grappling scene and the MMA scene, because they're blacks, Caucasians, Russians, Africans, Mexicans. You know what I'm saying? All of them are fighting each other. It don't freaking matter, man. But if you go over here to boxing, Mauricio Suleiman refused to have Artur Beterbiev fight Dmitry Bivol. I'm like, wow. If that ain't a motherfucking slap to the face with cactus hands, if I ain't never seen one. Dana White is full speed, blast ahead, take off. They're fighting everybody. It don't matter whoever wants to smoke, you can get it. He's gonna put the fights on the card. 5 minute, 5 rounds, or 3 rounds, 5 minutes apiece. He's putting the fights together. Over here, we have Mauricio Suleiman saying, what's going on in Russia? We cannot make, man, come on. We have a 175-pound division of individuals that got 3-1, just like we do. We have the heavyweight division, 3-1. And welterweight division, we had 3-1. How long did it take for that shit to happen? I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. Shout out to Cam. I am Cam Edwards. What's good? W says one love to the Archbishop and everyone in the chat. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Salute to you, Cam. Salute to one half of the apostles, man. I don't know. I am seeing Gooch around in a minute. He all right? Shout out to Gooch. Jessica, what's good? Salute WCS in the chat. Salute to you. How you feeling? Rashid say the abuse of the A-side privilege is the main reason big fights don't get made. Rashid, you check the box on that. But let me ask you this, man. How long this gonna last, man? Just like Charles was saying, he's been here since the 1950s, man. 1950s. How long does it last? God damn it. Dude. How does the sport advance? How does it evolve and continue to get better and better and better? What fighter can tell you that the sport has evolved? How is Floyd able to basically break the system the way he was, right? But no one else is capable of doing that. How can no one else do it? Oh, you're going to say it's fire sticks. It's people streaming, right? It's a different era right now where people just streaming and they're pirating the pay-per-views. That's why they can't make no money. I get it. It's always going to be something. But that just goes to show you the fragmentation and undeveloped freaking business model these promoters got out here. They're making all the money, y'all. Their parties is different than ours. Our fight parties never can compare to their fight parties. It's so many people that's a part of these teams who's making all the money, and the fighters is left with nothing. I mean, really, they're left depleted, y'all. The promoters is getting the money, the matchmakers, the managers. You know what I'm saying? We just seen the shit play out with Frank Martin. After all his deductions, he said, oh, that's not bad. Then somebody said, you forgot Uncle Sam. Oh, shit. He did that deduction. He said, damn, I'm not making anything. How is the business model going to evolve into something special that fighters can come in here knowing that they're going to, be able to build generational wealth? They're going to be able to be in these big fights. How long is it going to take? How long is it going to take, man? Because it's tough being a boxer. It's tough. It's almost like people just, you signed to this promotion, right? But in between time for your next fight, what's going on with your promotion? Why can't fighters, get paid money on the side and they get the money, the name, image, and likeness like these college players are doing? You know what I'm saying? Why can't that be in boxing? If it's a way for you to have name, image, likeness, which it is, you need to find a way to start building that shit up and start getting paid. For real. You have to start building, you have to start planning and trying to figure out how to build up a way to make extra income. I'm not talking about working at the local food mart. I'm talking about, God damn it, you need to find a way to build up your name and to make this revenue, not just in boxing, but outside of boxing, and do things that can build you up in the sport of boxing too, that's going to benefit the ring and outside the ring, your overall popularity. That's where it needs to be. These fighters is going up here saying, I don't need to talk to the media. People know me. Okay. You're going to be in your 30s, goddammit. I ain't going to tell you how old I'm going to be. You're going to be in your 30s. And I'm going to be up here goddamn rocking back and forth like, I remember when that dude was young as hell. I remember when he stepped in there and fought so-and-so back in the day. I did. Just give me another shot of that hen dog right there. Yeah, I remember. I had some goddamn good fight parties back then. I can't believe he's still fighting. God damn, he going on 40 years old. 40 years old, still fighting, huh? These fighters don't want to deal with the media. What's better than 1 media, 2 media, 3 media, 4 media, 5 media? To get your name out there. We live in a social media era where your video can go viral. You know what I'm saying? Not just always want to go and pick and choose. Fight Hype is one entity. ES News is one entity. Just because they do their numbers, there's several other macrocosms that you can deal with out here in the media world. You can deal with other media outlets that can put your videos out there and they can circulate all the same. But a lot of these fighters is just built and set on one thing. Oh man, just go there. Just go there. Just go there right there. Yeah, you go to them. Go to them. Talk to them. Talk to them. And when you have all these other media outlets out here hungry too, the freaking interview you. Okay, whatever. Whatever. Shit don't make no motherfucking sense. But people, it's been 2 hours. I gotta bounce, man. I got stuff to take care of. I will say this though, right? Remember, 4 o'clock today, y'all. 1600. I will be back on this joint. I want to ask y'all something, right? And I have no reserve in saying what I'm about to say. But don't be disappointed if Jermell Charlo gets up there and give you the same amount of energy that he gave Canelo the first press conference. And if he does go about it the same way and the same behavior and mannerisms of that docile, passive, you know what I'm saying? That docile, passive, domesticated house kitten, he should understand that he will get put in the hot grease. Absolutely, Jermell Charlo. If you come up there with that soft ass shit, bro, and kissing Canelo ass, you already got the fight, goddammit. Give him the same energy you gave Tony Harrison. Disrespect him. Take him through that Caleb Plant era where he got there and pushed him and Caleb came back and tried to slap. Take him there, Jermell Charlo. I'm not saying, I don't want people saying, oh, he as a black man, that's not a good look. No. You did it to your black people. So for me, if you did it to us, why don't you keep the same type of active freaking energy? Keep the barometer fuming to the top, almost about to bust over. Keep the same energy of aggressiveness, bro. You know what I'm saying? If you used to the having all that aggressive enforcement, you know what I'm saying? You all about enforcing that upon your people. Don't go up there to Canelo acting like a bitch today. Don't go up there bitching out and being all docile and you consider to be respectful all of a sudden. But yet you was just trying to disrespect Tim Zoo. You know what I'm saying? You don't disrespected all these other freaking black medias. See, they call people like you that separate yourselves from your own kind. You know what they call, you know what the name is. I'm not here to call you that. All I'm doing is you have several hours left for you to go over there and make a statement. All I'm saying, it would be good if you went out there and prove that you're not going to walk up there on some bitch assness. Don't walk up to Canelo and be all soft-hearted, because I done heard you say everything that I know a lot of y'all going for Canelo. I know that. And I'm going to go up here and they're going to be calling my name. Say it when you're in the company of Canelo Alvarez. If you don't tell Canelo to his face that he's losing tomorrow, if you don't tell him, I mean, not tomorrow, Saturday, if you don't tell him to his face that, hey, I'm coming here to win, I'm going to fuck you up. Don't ever come up here to another black media outlet. Don't come up here talking any of that rah-rah shit, because if I ever see you and I have the opportunity to let you know that, yeah, you want to come over here and you got all the energy for me, but you didn't have the energy for Canelo. You was all soft-hearted, mushy, a marshmallow to a barn fire, nigga. Don't come up here with that soft-ass bitch-made shit that you've been that you want to put on for Canelo. It's a front, dog. It's a front. Talk that shit to Canelo, goddammit. Let the OG know. You call him a legend. Let the legend know that you coming in there to win this weekend. You know one thing I can respect about. Hold on for a second, y'all. My phone. It's a phone call. But check this out though. Okay. All right, Cam. Cam say he's pulling up on the champ for Dark Wars. I thought they was in a whole nother country though. I thought Bernie the Boxer was talking about they over there in Milan Belize. They was in Belize or something like that. Did I listen to that wrong? That Cam? I listened to that wrong. But anyway, like I said, right? Charlo, I expect you to go in there and get Canelo that heat. This is it. Don't wait till the weigh-ins. This is the press conference. And like I was about to say, one thing I respect about Tank will always give you that climactic moment where he was gonna put hands on his fighter. He did it to Rolly. He did the Jokic Gamboa. He did the Ryan Garcia. That is one thing that gets everybody saying that Tank is that dude. He always come in there, whether he late, on time, he'll come in there and he'll set it off. Okay, it's been others that try to emulate. Once again, black fighters, you know what I'm saying? Some black fighters get away with what other black fighters don't. Okay? Devin Haney tried to do the Javante Davis thing and he got fined 40-some thousand. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't clown. I'm not trying to clown Devin for doing it. It's just he had good intentions. But I guess Tank has just enough oomph to not make it seem like it's vicious or malicious, dog. Vicious or malicious or bubblicious. You know what I'm saying? The way Devin puts Lomachenko and his shoulders curled in. Oh my God. That's criminal. Man, come on, bro. That's one thing about Tank, man. He always put hands on his opposition when it comes to the face-off. I'm saying, look, he even clocked Ryan Garcia with a left hook. You know, when they was facing off, and all Ryan did is like, oh, he wanted people to say, oh, he hit me, and then he wanted to shoe shine. No. Jermell Charlo, you need to go up here and get some fireworks going, bro. You need to make it 4th of July in September. Seriously, man. You need that shit, bro. You need that. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. You need that. Don't go up there being soft-hearted nigga and no, bro. No, the black people out here need that energy. Like Caleb Plant gave Canelo that energy back in a suit. In a suit. I know you about to come up there looking like the only black goddamn oak tree out of Texas that's walking. You know what I'm saying? Looking like a human tree stump. I know you're gonna come in there with some rug orientated attire on, but goddamn it, you need to walk up to Canelo Alvarez and you need to let him know that you're on some different type of time because it's close to fight. You need to go in there and piss that nigga off for real. Don't go in here damn being all nice and kind and gentle. Goddamn it, I'm here to be jovial. I'm tired of being no. You still want to be stupid. We just asking you to be stupid with somebody who can be stupid back with you. Like Tony Harrison was stupid back with you, and all you did was stay seated. That was the bro. I want you to do it to this bro. Let Canelo Alvarez know that you that bro. Go in there and goddamn give him that Charlo lines only energy. Don't sit there and face off with your hands behind your back, and then Canelo he takes his right hand and point to the front, and you do the left face. You do the left face. Is that good, Mr. Nello? Thank you, sir. Don't come with that soft ass shit, bro. You better do something to set this motherfucker on fire. Do something we ain't seen. We don't want to see that damn soft ass shit, bro. Yeah, we're gonna check it out. I dropped the link in here yesterday. It's at 4:00. Make sure y'all tune in and get that presser. Make sure y'all tune in and check out that presser because this is gonna be interesting. on the questions that's being asked and the answers given. I wanna see if Jamel Charlo is gonna keep that same energy about I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win. They're gonna be calling my name. I want him to tell Canelo that. Where's Derrick James' energy with Eddie Reynoso, y'all? Come on, man. You know how WCS do it. Where's Diddy at? Diddy's always want to be in the frame with that damn smirk on his face, nigga. I want to see you say some slick shit to Eddie Reynoso. I want to see the furniture store manager say some slick shit to Eddie Reynoso. What, you don't have it in you? You're the coach of the year. Eddie Reynoso wasn't coach of the year. You're the coach of the year. Eddie Reynoso wasn't. So you're not gonna talk shit to Eddie Reynoso, man. Come on, Diddy. It's time for you, you know what I'm saying, to assume your position as always as lead dancer. You need to go up there and let them know that, hey, I'm here to talk shit. We're gonna make it interesting. We got a damn good game plan for you, Canelo. Bro, you're gonna stay with the fight. No matter what you say, you're gonna keep the fight. They're not gonna cancel the fight. We just want to see you turn up. We don't want to see some docile freaking goddamn residential snail, you know, walking through the grass all nice and slow, wiggling his body and shit. Hi there. My name is Snooky. Yes. Me and my family is always here in your yard, just sliming alone. Well, until next time, you enjoy yourself. No, we don't want that slow, basic, boring ass, you know, goddamn, I want to be a residential snail shit, bro. We want some other shit. We want the tyrant. We want the juvenility. We want the brashness. We don't want this surrender all type shit going on. You know what I'm saying? We don't want this church hymn type shit. I surrender all. I surrender all. No, I'm not going to do that. Anyway, I'm out, people. Y'all continue to hold it down. Shout out to the hottest chat in the MFing game. A-Side Official. You already know I'm out. Peace.
Left jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss. Now you counting stars, should've practiced more. Should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports,
Subscribe.